Mark Ellwood, contributing editor at Condé Nast Traveler, joins us now with more. Mark, good morning. We've all been cooped up for so long. I guess the only opportunity we have now is to explore our own backyards, in a sense. What does that look like in terms of actually venturing out?
So I think it's really interesting. There was a recent survey that looked at what most Americans were planning to do in terms of vacations. And about 41% of them said, hey, we're going to drive about 100 miles from our home. So we're calling this sort of the all-American summer staycation plus. People are looking at national parks, state parks nearby. If you look at the home sharing data, which I think is really interesting, most of the booking levels are up to about the same as they were before the pandemic, but with a couple of interesting asterisks. One, people are searching the word cabin more than they ever have before,
Mark,
which you understand, that's the kind of vacation.
All right, give me two, and then I've got a question about cabins, but tell me the second point first.
Okay. Well, the second one is people are booking at the last minute because I think it's a dynamic situation, and there's a huge increase in last minute bookings, about double what it used to be. Yeah. Tell me, what else do you want to know, Tony?
So with cabins, I've also been cabin curious, and I wonder, from your research, are people interested in the connection with nature that a cabin might bring, or the disconnection from everyone else in their life that a cabin might bring?
I think it's a little bit of both. We are seeing that hotels that offer sort of self-contained accommodation, sort of cabin-style accommodation, wherever they are doing very well. So I think there is that sense. But I think it's made us all reassess our values, and nature is a great thing to kind of reboot ourselves.
Yeah. What do you say to people who are on the fence about travel? They're not sure if the recommendation is to stay home. Do they feel guilty for going out? That's something a lot of us are dealing with. What would you say to that kind of family right now?
Absolutely. So look, obviously we want to behave safely. You want to follow guidelines, but remember, when you're sitting by the pool having a pina colada, you have no care in the world. So it feels like a total kind of, you would feel guilty doing something like this, like that, when the circumstances right now are so difficult. But everyone around you, the cocktail waitress, the room attendant, they're paying their bills from your vacation. Travel is the 7th largest private sector employer in America. It supports about 16 million jobs. So if we want the economy to rebound, taking a vacation is a way to do that.
Mark, it's Vlad here. So I've got a question. I was telling Tony that I'm not that comfortable traveling. I'm a huge germaphobe. And this period of COVID, my fiance Marion likes to say that I can now be morally self-righteous about traveling. What should we be looking for in hotels, in cabins? Tony's cabin curious. What should we be looking for when we visit these places as far as disinfecting?
So I think what you'll see, I would go back to after 9/11, there was something called the theater of security, which was when we all wanted to be reassured that real security measures were being taken, and they were sort of broadcast to us. 9/11 was a very good parallel, a really tough time for the travel industry. We think there'll be a thing, a bit like the theater of wellness. So what you'll see is all of those cleaning protocols, which are terrific, and if you check a hotel's website, you can usually see very detailed explanations of the way they've upgraded them. I think they're going to move cleaning the lobby from 3 a.m. to 3 p.m. So when you check in, you're sort of subtly reassured that everything really is being cleaned. And if you're nervous, honestly, Vlad, you're not wrong. Germaphobes right now, you're not alone. Just get in touch with your hotel and say, I'm concerned, can you tell me exactly what you're doing? And they will understand that request. You won't be the only person asking.
All right, that's a good point there. Mark, I also love your point that if you can travel right now, if you can do it safely, do it, because these hotels, these restaurants, these bars, they are depending on that business. Very important point. Mark Ellwood, thank you very much.